Chiefs Kingdom. This is Colt with Tomahawk Talk podcast. We're going to be doing a little bit of talking. I'm going to be talking about injuries, injury report so far this week. I mean, we still got a little ways to go. We still got about a week or so, you know, to and obviously I'll be making other videos to update people on the injuries coming in so far. But as of now, everybody is in full participation except for a handful of guys. Now there was. Let me look at my phone here. Now, there was quite a few injuries, minus Justin Watson, who was out for did not play last game because of illness. They didn't say particularly what kind of illness. They just said, just that he was sick. And so far, everybody is at full capacity, full practice, except for limited practice for Willie Gay with his shoulder. But Willie says that he's not missing this Super Bowl. He is going to be back to full practice here pretty soon, and he'll be playing in this game. He's not going to miss this game. He missed that last Super Bowl. He ain't going to miss this one. As of now, the four players that have not practiced, that are not practicing right now, is L'Jarius Sneed, Kadarius Toney, Juju Smith-Schuster, and McCole Hardman. McCole Hardman re-aggravated his pelvis, the hip injury he had. Kadarius Toney has an ankle hamstring, which he re-aggravated. Juju Smith-Schuster with a knee, and obviously L'Jarius Sneed with a concussion that he got in the last game up against Bengals. So far, haven't really heard anything about progress wise. Just the fact that they're not practicing at the moment, um, which really sucks. Hopefully, I'm hoping those guys can get healthy, get ready, and be ready by um, Super Bowl. Be really nice, or at least a little get a practice in or so, get a couple practices. This is going to be a really tough game. Uh, I'll do a little bit of talking here about this Philadelphia game. A little bit of talking about. I want to do a little bit of talking about the past game again. Um, you know, coming into this game, you got two number one teams, which obviously means these are the two best teams in their conference. They are the number one team in the NFC. We are the number one team in the AFC. Both teams have a good offense. Eagles were ranked better defense all season, and Chiefs were kind of not slow, but we weren't as tough on defense in the beginning of the season as we are now. Towards the end, really stepped up a bit. A lot actually, to be honest. In this game right here, it's gonna be close. I think it's gonna be a lot closer matchup than people think. There's a lot of people out there siding with the Eagles, mostly Philly fans, obviously, and Cincy fans. Right now, kind of feels like as of late, it's been kind of like KC versus the world or versus the league. A lot of people don't like KC right now because they think because of the talk of NFL officials or NFL officiating and it being rigged. People talking about it being a rigged game. Talking about how Bengals were flagged more. There was a lot of bad calls and which there was bad officiating. I think it was on for both sides. I think both sides got some bad calls. It just happened. I don't know. To me, it just seemed like the Bengals just happened at a bad time. Um, like we can talk about the whole thing. The whole roughing the passer, which they called the one on Mahomes, obviously, because he was stepped out of bounds. But there's people talking about whether Burrow should have been flat or Burrow should have got a flag for the Frank Clark hit. And yeah, it probably should have, but at the time, How many times do those quarterbacks go back in the pocket, throw a pass, and then take a hit? It happens all the time. But if you hit a quarterback that's going out of bounds and steps out of bounds and you hit a quarterback, I mean, that's going to get called pretty much every time, no matter who it is. And everyone's just saying, oh, they threw the flag just because it's Mahomes. No, they would have thrown the flag if it was. They would have thrown the flag if it was Burrows. They would have thrown the flag if it was Allen. They would have, and they're all like, oh, because Mahomes is a smaller guy, or because of his size and blah 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 and all this stuff that he threw it. The guy launched him into the bench. He pushed him so hard that he injured himself in the process. And I feel bad for the guy. I feel bad for Osai. I talked about this, I think, the last video. I feel bad for the guy, but that's just a mistake. It's the second year. He's a second year defensive player, hell of a defensive player. Did great this season, but just made a accidental, made a little tiny mistake that ended up, it was just the whole fact that it was everybody's making a big deal about it is that it happened at the end of the game where it mattered the most. If this would have happened third quarter or beginning of the fourth quarter, nobody would be talking about it. But the fact that it happened in the last play of the game before the field goal, everybody's making a big deal about it. And of course, we've got former players like Arian Foster coming out talking about how the NFL is rigged, it's scripted, that him and his, him, he used to get, they used to all get scripts at the beginning of the season, and practices were used to, practice their scripts. I think it's a full baloney. Now, I don't know for a fact, I've watched the video once, haven't really dived into it. I don't know if Arian Foster is just saying this as a joke or if he's being honest. If he's being honest, I think it's just a lie. I don't think NFL is rigged at all. I just think it's bad officials, bad calls, things like that happen all the time, every time. And yes, it needs to be worked. It needs to be fixed. But this is the bad officiating isn't going to be fixed overnight. It's not something that's just going to be, by next year it's just going to be better. It's going to take time. I've watched a lot of shows. I watched Pat McAfee show. Shout out to Pat. I watched the Pat McAfee show and all those guys. The Toxic Crew. I watch all those guys every day of the week. And they've been talking about it, and I can't agree more with what they've been saying. I think they need to do like an officiating camp or something, uh, and do like some type of like officiating camp where they go in and then they do officiating camp, like they practice officiating or something, or maybe officials need some consequences. Maybe officials need to be fined. Maybe officials need to be suspended or something. Maybe that'll help it out. Maybe I don't know. NFL's got some things to do. I know the NFL committee's going to be working on that, especially after this last game with so many people watching the game. I think they said they had like 50 million people watching it or something like that. Like it was a crazy abundance of people. So yeah, I think they're definitely going to be watching that and working on that this off season and further on in the future. You know, bad officials, it happens. I don't think I'm not saying that all refs are bad. I'm just saying there are a select few of them that are. And coming into this, coming into this Super Bowl game, they have the head official who's official crew has thrown the most flags. They're the most flag happy crew in the NFL apparently. So I've heard. So we'll see what happens here in the Super Bowl. I hope it goes smoothly. I hope the officiating is better. Only time can tell. But going into this game, though, against the Philadelphia Eagles, you got an Eagles team that is just red hot, both sides of the ball. You got amazing offensive line, amazing offensive players, wide receiver core, quarterback, running backs. All their players are just they are a tough team, and I think the Chiefs have a still have a shot at winning this game. Uh, we've seen a lot of the Chiefs. To me, been playing a lot. Like I said, I've been playing a lot more like the Chiefs back in Super back in the Super Bowl in 2020 against the San Francisco 49ers. They look a lot more like that team from then. It's going to be I think it's going to be a really close game. I think it's going to be a lot closer than everybody thinks it will. Um, right now, Kansas City just has to focus on getting guys healthy. Getting Mahomes healthy. Mahomes has been practicing yet still, and I think the main thing right now is just to get Chiefs need to just get everybody healthy, get everybody back on the field, and go into this game. MVS had a spectacular game last week with 100 yards receiving and a touchdown. Um, obviously, Travis Kelsey, he's doing his thing like he always does. Um, but yeah, I mean, health wise, just got to get healthy. That's the main problem right now. I'm hoping that Casey comes in and just plays the game and play like the Chiefs. Don't come in doing all that razzle dazzle as much. Just play some football. Just play tough football. I'm hoping Pacheco and them are ready to go. We all know that Kansas City's going to be throwing the ball a lot, like they always do. I thought they were going to do more running last game, but we didn't. We did kind of shied away. We did some running, but we didn't do as much running, nearly as much as we did in the first game against the Jaguars. I think this game's going to be obviously a throwing game. I think it's going to be a throwing match between Jalen Hurts. Hurts, I don't know. He seems like he's pretty healthy going into this week at this Super Bowl. If Jalen Hurts is healthy, he's a dangerous guy on the ground and in the air. So yeah, it's gonna be tough. I don't know. I don't. In fact, right now, until guys get healthy, I don't really know what to predict for the score. If everybody's healthy and is back in the game, I could see this game being a one possession game. Uh, there's things going around, because I don't know the statistics for sure, but I have been seeing things where teams have been coming out saying like people have been coming out saying that like teams that wear white in the Super Bowl have won more games than teams that wear the home colors, home field uniforms. But we'll see. We'll get to that. I don't know exactly if that I think that's more of like a superstition than anything. But yeah, we'll see. Chiefs going to be wearing their white uniforms. I'm hoping they go all white. But it's definitely gonna be interesting, and it's definitely gonna be a great game. I'm a lot more nervous about this. Well, not only because it's the Super Bowl, but it's the Philadelphia Eagles. These guys are tough. But that's gonna be my video for today. It's gonna be this short video here today. I'll be back on in a day or two. Be doing more of a short injury update videos. Let everybody know how everyone's doing and practicing and everything. But if you can, make sure you go in. Make sure you go to my channel, subscribe, hit the notification button so you can get the notification of when I put out new videos. Uh, be sure to like, put a comment in, tell me what you think, who you predict winning the Super Bowl this year. I like to hear you guys. I want to see you guys give me some comments. And thanks for watching. Go Chiefs Kingdom, and let's go get this Super Bowl win.